Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I'm a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. The journey continues today on April 15th, 2022 at approximately 1:57 p.m. PST. So, have you got the heart of your house in order? The heart of your home in order. The heart of your home is your dining room, your kitchen, and your living room. Those three rooms combined form the the three chamber heart of your home, of what makes your life work. Now, for obvious reasons, when we compare the home to the physical body, the cerebral cortex, this funny little spot right in the back of your head, that is you. That is what drives the whole system. And that's why it's got to be in order first. Now, everyone in existence is in the exact same boat you're in. Now, to be clear before I get started, when we take a look at the whole system, I came back to this world for one primary purpose, and that is to remind everyone in existence, that working together, we can make this a better world for virtually everybody. Now, you yourself are, when we compare your life to the physical corporeal body. The reason I do that is so it sinks in. Okay. Now, I've been doing this my entire life. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Apparently, it's really beneficial from my standpoint, and that's why I asked for it. I mean, it does tell me that you're happy with it. But from a more monetary standpoint or physical standpoint, apparently the thumbs up is part of the algorithm that helps determine which videos become available to people. Now, society itself is going down a real dark path right now. And I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, because there's a lot of information that's coming out. Okay, from a lot of different areas, a lot of different fields, if you will. But society is going down a very dark path right now, but with your help, we can actually turn this tide and guide society back into a very positive, very productive life. But it's going to require all of us. Now, we start with the cerebral cortex, if you will, of the corporeal body of the house and home. That cerebral cortex is you. Now, everybody thinks in their own fashion, so you've got your own issues, your own problems, but rest assured, yours is serious to you. The little 3-year-old who can't find their bag of marbles is absolutely in a state beyond recognition half the time. If you've got a 16-year-old that's having trouble finding the controller for the PS5 or the PS5, again, their problem is as important to them as yours is to you. So we take a look at the cerebral cortex first. Let's make that work. The trick to that is realizing you don't have to fit in with all of society. You have to accept you as you. You've got to be content with you. Now, this has taken me a lifetime to figure out. Okay, actually, in all fairness, it's taken me several lifetimes. But just counting this one, in a month, I'm going to be 59. I finally got to the point where I understand where I'm standing and why. Now, it is my hope that by sharing these insights, these tools, these philosophies of life, which are the exact same ones I personally use and live by my sharing them with you, you will be able to get your feet on the ground and accomplish some of the things that you desire to accomplish. Now there's an old saying that goes, there's an old poem that was written years ago that goes, God grant me the strength to change the things I can. God grant me the courage to change the things I can, the strength to accept the things I cannot change. Okay, let's try that one more time, shall we? God, grant me the courage to change the things I can change, the strength to accept the things I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay, now, it took me 59 years to get here, almost. Okay. It is my hope that by sharing these concepts with you, that you will get there faster than I did. Okay. I was talking to an individual the other day that was doing everything right, only they didn't know it. And when I talk about it being right, that doesn't mean it was my way, but it was a way that was effective. It's kind of like going down a dark hallway and not knowing you're heading in the right direction. And then somebody turns the lights on and you find out, oh, I got exactly where I belong. Okay. So this is where we are. The first trick, 4 words. I put them in my own home. I've got them in 3 locations. I strongly recommend these 4 words. They are the 4 strongest words where it comes to self-awareness, self-worth, self-motivation, and among a number of other things along the line of self. 4 words. I am worth it. Those 4 words will help immensely. Now, if you haven't done so already, take those words, put them someplace in your office, okay, where you work on your finances. Now, I know one person I talked to literally put it up as a screensaver. Okay, that is the brain of your house. Okay, that is the real origin point. Well, the origin point in the corporeal form, anyway. It'll go through the brain sooner or later, but you put it in the office. That way, when you're working on your finances, you've got a constant reminder of the fact that you're worth it. Then you put it on the fridge door. Okay, presumably the fridge door is in your kitchen, not in your office. Put it on the fridge in your kitchen, just to be specific. Now that goes into one of the chambers of the heart of your home. Okay, then you put it on the front door, so that when every time you come home, you're getting this reminder: I am worth it. I've got mine in all 3 of those places. Now, the one in the front door is just a sheet of paper where it's written on in black ink, actually in black felt. Okay, but your main entrance is your interaction with the material, with the outside world. Kind of like your mouth and your other senses are your link to the outside world from your body to the outside world. You have those 4 in place. Now, the other thing you do, this little thing, I have legally acquired a minimum of $3,500 by April the 30th of 2022 at 23:59. That is military time from 1 minute to midnight. Okay. Now that goes in your office as well, right where you're working on your finances. Okay. If you run a business, I've got a second one down here that says Inner Voice Enterprises has legally generated a minimum of $600 by April 30th, 2022 at 1 minute to midnight. These 2 sheets, in case you hadn't noticed, are real easy for me to get to. They're sitting right here just outside of the camera. That will start things moving. Now, from there, now I'm going to stick with the home for a minute. The brain we're going to dissect again tomorrow. The brain being the office and the finances. Okay. If you haven't done so already, make a point today to get your living room, your dining room, and your kitchen completely cleared out. In other words, if there's dishes, if there's clutter around, get them cleared out. Okay. Now we're ending off the week today. This is Friday. Except some of you are looking at it Saturday morning. We'll work with it. Okay. Wherever you are, right here, right now, is the only time you can get anything functionally accomplished. So that's where we start. So today, when you get done the video here, if you haven't done it already, first of all, take care of those 2 signs. Then get out of your head, as it were, and get into the heart. Get the living room, the dining room, and the kitchen cleared up of all the junk, all the dirty dishes, any stuff that's lying around that is just clutter, is just laying there. get it where it belongs. Okay, once you've done that, your next step, and by the way, these are the same steps I'm personally going to be doing as soon as I'm done this, as soon as I finish posting this video. Okay, I'll be doing exactly the same steps I'm talking about to you. Once you got the heart cleared out, okay, now you get your mind sorted around. We've got the critical stuff here. Don't forget, if your office desk is cluttered, it might be a wise idea to clear that before you leave the head, and before you leave your mind and go to work on the heart. Get the junk sorted on the office desk. As a matter of fact, what's probably going to happen here, as a matter of fact, probably, what is going to happen, this section here, from here all the way over to here, and all the way back into the middle. This I will clear out altogether, so that all I've got left is I don't have the clutter. I've just got the stuff to work with, which is why I'm doing this, so that when I get done, I can actually move forward and get the heart done. So you get your office sorted out, get the heart organized. Okay, and don't forget those signs. Very critical. They are the pulse that's going to help draw everything together. Then you deal with the arteries. Now, the arteries in your home are, quite frankly, the hallways. Any hallways, any passageways that you walk through to get to one of the rooms. These are arteries. Okay, if you look at the doorway, like you can see my door behind me right here. Okay, that is one of those funny little valves that open and close when your body's working. That's the valve from my brain to the rest of my home. Okay, get the stuff that's in the way of any of that easy flow and get it cleared out. Get it tidied, put the clutter where it belongs. If you can get rid of it, great. Otherwise, get it stacked so it can go. Much like when your body is getting rid of garbage, it stores it, as far as I understand, in the bowels and in the urinary tract. Same idea. And then of course you've got the liver that does its own thing. I did not take a whole lot of time on anatomy, so you'll have to forgive the scattered side there. Or at least it would be appreciated. Anyway, get your arteries cleared out, the hallways, the doorways, so that you can come and go without any interruption. Okay. Now, you've got that sorted out. These are just little tricks and little steps. Now watch this. You get the signs made up. You get the office desk tidied up. Get the living room, get the kitchen, get the dining room. All organized. Okay. Right now we're looking at 7 or 8 projects that can go off one after the other, and it will feel like you got something done. Now, don't just take my word for it. Okay, these are the tools I use and what I've just laid out. As soon as I'm done posting this video, okay, I will go and deal with the rest of this stuff, the same as I'm talking to you. And this is exactly why I call myself a spiritual guide. Because the tools I offer, the philosophies of life I live by, are the same ones I personally am putting to use. Okay, and that's why things work. What is that? Oh, that goes down back. Anyway, that desk over there, that's my artwork. That's my creative center, if you will. If you think about it, okay, that puts it really interesting. Because the way I've got this set up, come to think of it, the right side of your brain, which operates the left side of your body, okay, that's your creative side, which is intriguing. Because if I turn this way, okay, where I can actually see the whole 9 yards, this is the logic side. This is where the brainchild is. Okay. This is the left side. This is the left side of the brain of my brain, if you will. The logic base. The creative brain base, which is over here, it's a little cluttered right now. I've got 400 some odd figures over there to paint. But you'll notice that I've got this funny little sign about the finances, about it all working. Bear in mind, I am an author. Okay. Therefore, my creative side is very strongly tied to what I do for a living. Okay. But that's sitting right smack in the middle. Okay. Same place about where the cerebral cortex should be, which is something I will be drawing and getting sorted out here. I just have to figure out exactly how. Once you've got the arteries cleared out, so you can come and go without any problem, think of it this way. If your hallway is clear to the point that a blind person can walk down it without a problem, you've got it cleared out enough. Now, of course, in all fairness, if I close my eyes and try and walk down my hall, if I don't have my hand on the wall, I'm going to walk into it anyway. Now, that takes care of the major part of it. Now, of course, there's a lot more to your home, not the least of which I mentioned the urinary tract and the bowels. Well, this kind of correlates to your washroom and your laundry room. Okay, both are tied together to clear the garden to get rid of the waste product. To make sure you stay clean, to make sure your body is running properly. So we take a look at that. Okay, and by looking at that, by getting those tidied up, you'll also find things run a lot more smoothly. Now, these are just techniques that I personally use. Okay. The other thing is, and it's taken me a long time to figure this one out. I've talked to you about what I require in the way of money and what have you. The reason for doing that is to show you that it can actually be done. Okay. But I caution you, what goes on in your head, many times, quite often it's really beneficial to keep it there. Okay, work on it, absolutely. But unless you know the person you're talking to, unless you're absolutely certain that they are going to talk to you about what's going on, okay, about the way your world is working, unless you know they're going to support you in your efforts, not tell you you're doing everything perfectly right if you're not, but at least not tell you you're doing everything wrong if you're not doing it exactly their way. Okay. Oftentimes it is better to keep things to yourself about what you're thinking or about why you're thinking. Now I've been very forthcoming with the way I see the world. And the reason for that is in deference to you. There were a great number of people that really really pushed for me to begin a vlog, to begin posting on YouTube. Okay, a lot of people spent a lot of months trying to convince me to do so. Here I am. Okay. And thanks again to a lot of the same people and some very specific guidance, I've now started live streaming. Okay. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., 8 a.m. Pacific time until 10 a.m. Pacific time, I will be going live once again on YouTube. Okay. And I do hope to see you there. Okay, I had a great turnout the last time, and now I'm getting an idea of how the system works, although I'm still working on parts of it. But again, I am doing my best. This computer is a lot of the way that I communicate with people now. Okay. And, the reality is, if you desire to get a hold of me, there's a whole list of contact points below this video. I'd love to hear your comments in the comments below. Okay, I'd love to hear your questions when I'm live. Absolutely. When you're asking a question, please write it in all capitals so I can find it. Okay, because this is going to be an ongoing learning curve. I'm still learning what I'm doing with the YouTube, but I'm very happy with the way it's working. Now I just have to figure out a few odds and ends. Actually, probably a lot of them. Problem is, I don't know what questions I don't know. Okay, so I'm just making it up as I go along. But this link here, the video link that I work with here, that is my way of spreading this message that I came to spread to everyone in existence, not just the people with video. Okay. Also, to everybody you run into. Because the reality is, if you take this message out there and you help people understand that, yes, we absolutely can make this a better world if we work together. Okay. But it starts with the individual. This is the thing that people overlook. They look at things, people seem to look at it and go, well, I really desire the world to change. I'm tired of it the way I am. But they go, where do I begin? And you may be in that same boat. You desire your home to change. You desire your house to change. You're going to have to do the work. And I don't think it's reachable. It isn't. So where the heck did it go? Must be up front. Anyway, I was looking for a bag for a book of mine that I've been working on. Okay, you're going to have to do the work. Now, in answer to the question, yes, I am going to be putting a lot of this information. I've already got a lot of it in print. And I've already shown you that, so I can sit down there right for the moment. This little book here, I just got the new batch in yesterday. Okay, Believe in Yourself and Follow Your Dreams. This covers the absolute bare bone basics on how to actually go about getting your life in order. The neat part about the way I wrote this book, in my eyes, is I wrote it in very small, very standalone chapters. As you can see, the book is not that big. Okay. But it did take a lot of hours. It took a lot of hours to do it. Now, this particular book, like so many others I've written, if you look below this video, you'll find a list of books. You'll find a list of different books that I have written, okay, including their costs and what have you. Absolutely, they are available from me direct. The Yldrbac Chronicles are available through me direct or through Author House, through Amazon, and a number of other places. But this is just a way of getting the basic, repeatable information out in the open. Okay. And I do encourage you to share it. If you don't know where to start changing your own life, that's the easy part. Right here, right now. Okay. By doing that, you will find that things come together very quickly. Now, I call it very quickly because I'd lay odds you did not get into the situation you're in life overnight. If you're like me, it took me 56 years to get to an absolute disaster. Or more to the point, to recognize I had arrived at an absolute disaster. But using the tools that I offer here, by following the philosophies of life that I talk about, I managed to get my life back on track. I am now where I desire to be. Okay, and I will go back and finish off tying off loose ends and what have you. That's just the reality of it. Okay, with that in mind, once you do that, okay, you can get your life moving smoothly as well. I'm absolutely certain of this because I've done it personally. Okay. Now, like I told one person, they were looking at a new purchase they were thinking of. A new purchase of a property. Now, the reality is in their case they weren't looking for they weren't looking for something gaudy or anything like that. They just wanted a piece of property to call their own. The way it was put to me one day is when you've got the money to do it, buy the biggest property that you can, one that you feel you can keep up to your standards. Doesn't matter what anybody else's standards are. You've got to keep it up to your standard. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're buying property if you're renting a lot, right, and you've got strata fees and what have you, then you have to keep up to their standards. But what it was put to me like was buy a large piece of property and just a little house that you can work with. Because what you're buying there is the privacy. You're not buying. It's not the land that you're buying, it's the privacy. Because, in all fairness, the odds are you're not buying the land. Even if you got your name on the deed, it's still owned by the government. They can come in and take it if they want. Same applies, sadly, with your apartment and with the apartment you're in. This seems to be a problem. I don't know how to change it yet. Working on it. But I figure if we're all aware of the same thing, we may be able to turn it around. Okay. But that is up to you to get up and actually work with. Okay, that's the reality of it. Okay. And I think I just solved the problem. It'll cost me a little bit of money, but it's a lot easier. Okay, and I'll fill you in on that afterwards. Anyway, take a look at the way your life is. Okay, are you content with your life where it is? If you are, turn around and stay focused on that. If you're not content with anything in it, that's when you have to start making the changes. Okay, you're the one that's going to have to do the work. I can give you all the tools. I can give you all the tools I know about and that I'm using. I am not the best of the best. I am simply barely managing to get by being the best me I can be. Same applies to you, because the reality is this. Well, you can't be the best me. But the same applies to your life. You're the only one that can make your life successful. I am in the process. A couple of the books I'm working on are one that targets exactly how to make your money work for you when you've only got a little. There's lots of great books out there there are a lot of great books out there that will tell you this is how to make money, this is how to invest it if you've got $30,000 or $40,000. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't got $30,000 or $40,000. Okay, but they'll tell you how to work with it that way. What I'm talking about is how to work with it when you've only got $5 extra. That's what I'm referring to. And it really boils down to whether or not you desire your life to change for what you consider the better. I'm not the one to tell you what success is to you, but I am in the process of writing a book to cover that aspect of it and show you how to get it. Now, with that in mind, I'm going to let you go because, well, we're up to the half-hour mark here. So, I will be back tomorrow. Okay, and like I said, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I will be live streaming on YouTube. R. Keith Andrews. Okay. Until then, take care of yourselves, and I will see you again shortly. But until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sake, stay positive.